When the BBC made a deal with Disney to produce the latest era of Doctor Who, of the Whoniverse, they commissioned 26 episodes, two 8 episode long seasons of Doctor Who, five specials, which we got two Christmas specials and the 60th anniversary, and then they commissioned a spin off. The War Between the Land and the Sea, 5 episodes long. This was part of the deal. Doctor Who is no stranger to a spin off, but it's been a while since we've had one. And I
Hmm.
truly don't know, even after watching The War Between the Land and the Sea, whether this is something that we really need. Before I watched the show, and even now having watched it, I can't help but think that this show is just 5 episodes that could have been Adventures with Ncuti Gatwa's 15th Doctor.
For real. It's a struggle because when I watch this show, I'm like, this is pretty good stuff. But then I just get reminded about how amazing it would be with Ncuti Gatwa's Doctor. It's so conflicting. That's how I feel. It's like, there's some pretty good stuff here. But where was that? Like, where was that in the past two seasons? It's so important to have grounded stories in Doctor Who and see from different perspectives. But then, well, we kind of want to see Doctor Who.
This is the Out of Time Film Podcast, where your hosts Tom and John discuss everything from blockbuster films to TV and games like there's no tomorrow.
If you just ignore the quality of the show, just as a concept, with the main show having moved into fantasy with gods and monsters, I think a lot of people have felt that the show isn't quite as gritty and it doesn't have as many hard sci-fi concepts in the last few years. This show brings in some of that grit and some of that realism. It has weight and it's got some nice sci-fi elements. And actually, this is the tone I prefer for Doctor Who. If the last couple of seasons of Doctor Who were more like The War Between the Land and the Sea, I think I would have enjoyed them a little bit more, as much as there was that I did like in those seasons. But at the same time, as good as this show is, I think I would have preferred more time with the Doctor, even if it was this kind of fantastical second coming of Russell T Davies, than this. What were they planning? Are they planning to make more seasons of this and then make some sort of crossover like they did in 2008, 2009? What's the
Yeah.
plan?
Yeah, to me, this is like a very short miniseries. I feel like it could have been a longer format because I feel like you have so much to play around with the water world, which we didn't get to explore like the different concepts of the water. We could have gotten a few more episodes, but also this could have been a Doctor Who season because I feel like you could have make it a whole story with Earth and maybe build that mystery. I just feel like it was way too short and there was like a lot more things we could have seen.
Yeah, it makes me wonder, are one story seasons the future of Doctor Who? A season that might be even 5 episodes, but only tells one story instead of telling episodic stories. That's not what I want Doctor Who to be. But I wonder if, for general audiences, the way to get them back in is to tell something more serialized than episodic
Yeah.
adventures. Because this show was dropped over the course of 3 weeks, it was almost dumped by the BBC, I think. 2 episodes one week, 2 episodes the next, final episode on the third week. There was barely any marketing. It felt like nobody saw it. We didn't even watch it when it dropped, and we're doing it
Nope.
weeks after. This was not on my list of priorities. And there's a lot to be said about that. The context of Doctor Who at the moment as well, after season two's ending. I just haven't been enthused with the show or anything surrounding it, which is a shame because The War Between the Land and the Sea is good. And it's a shame to think that I almost didn't watch this show because of everything else, when I would have missed out on
Mm.
some really good stuff. But you can see this one narrative that we're following here being something that people would respond to a little bit better. This show wasn't really marketed as a Doctor Who spin-off. I know people who have watched this show not knowing that it is to do with Doctor Who and investing in it on its own merits. And I wonder if maybe that will be how Doctor Who as a show gets people back. But at the same time, do you lose something? The fabric of, I mean, Flux, Doctor Who has tried doing a one story season and did it work? I don't know, but there's a lot of factors here.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. With this show, I wondered whether they wanted to do a bit more with the war between the land and the sea. Like, I wondered if they wanted to bring back the audience, as you said. But yeah, I found it really strange that they didn't advertise it as a big Doctor Who show because I think that's important because in the past, it was like Torchwood, Sarah Jane Adventures. I think that's no, is that the only two?
They were two running concurrently with the show towards the end of David Tennant's era, but there was also in 2016 Clash. Class, which was yeah.
Which I'm still mad about because I remember loving the heck out of that show, but I haven't seen it in a while, so
Oh,
might
I never
not.
watched it, so I don't.
Well,
Yeah.
it only got one series,
Mhm.
and if I remember correctly, it ended on a massive cliffhanger,
No
a
way.
crazy cliffhanger. It was a much more broodier, like there was a bit of gore in that one too. So it's interesting to me that that didn't go anywhere because I thought there was like a bit of potential to see what was going for that. So I wondered if they're going to go
I
anywhere with
mean,
this.
that's kind of what they went for with Sarah Jane and Torchwood. Torchwood was the adult one that had the gore, that had the very heavy themes. Doctor Who was for everyone, and then Sarah Jane was the one that they had on CBBC. That was the one for kids. That was a good format, and it worked at the time. But I don't know. TV has changed so much. I don't know if we can do that again. This show will just stand on its own, and I think that's a good thing. I don't know if it would have worked if it was like to be continued in the Doctor Who Christmas special where everyone fights the fish. I think like the fact that the Doctor didn't
Just
just
one
show
singular
up.
fish, by the way. Just
Yeah,
one singular fish.
the fish, yeah.
The fish.
The Doctor doesn't show up in this. That's not necessarily a spoiler. He just doesn't show up in this, and
He
I think
doesn't
that's a
show
good
up, no.
thing.
Yeah.
Although I do think it's very funny that canonically, because this show is set in 2025, right? Canonically, there are two Doctors on Earth right now, at least. All
At
year, this is the year that the 15th Doctor is stuck on Earth in a hotel from the last Christmas special. He's on Earth the whole time. And also the 14th Doctor is in Donna's backyard. So throughout the whole time of this show, when the Sea Devils, or Homo Aqua as we know them in the show, as Homo Aqua invades and litter rains from the sky and UNIT is in shambles, both Doctors are like, nah, I'll just let the humans handle it.
We're gonna relax. We're gonna relax, guys.
Yeah,
we don't
exactly.
care about this. Leave it to yourselves.
David Tennant is sipping a margarita in the garden, and Shooty Gat was plumbing a toilet. It's just
and then
they don't care.
And Wilford is shooting moles. He's still shooting moles
he is.
to this day.
Jesus.
No, I think that's good though because again, this is like the same thing with Doctor Who stories. Like there was an excellent Ruby Sunday episode in season 2. I can't believe remember the name, but season 2, a story from her perspective, tackling social media, and that spun across what UNIT's doing. What secrets they're hiding, and spreading misinformation about Ruby and then UNIT. So that was a great way to actually go on the human level of the Doctor Who universe. I think that's a good way to relate to the characters because you don't want the Doctor to be like yapping all the time, but he can get down to a human level as well. It's like a pendulum swing. It's like, what do you want to see?
Yeah, this show is kind of the appeal of a Doctor Light episode, but you get it for the whole 5 episodes.
Yeah.
So that episode that you're talking about in season 2 is called Lucky Day, and it was written by a guy called Pete McTighe. At least I think that's how you pronounce his name. And Pete McTighe wrote 3 episodes of The War Between the Land and the Sea. He wrote, Russell T Davies wrote episodes 1 and 5, and then Pete McTighe 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you can see that influence, the influence of UNIT, the influence of, I think they might have even been directed by the same guy, Dylan Holmes Williams, who directed all this and did a few Doctor Who episodes. You can see that kind of like exploration of UNIT and stuff like that. And of course, that means we get returning characters like Kate and like Shirley and Colonel Ibrahim. I would say this is the best Kate Stewart has ever been. She's less of just the kind of one-liner commands and slapping the Doctor on the wrist and, oh, if my father was alive. And Kate Stewart, I think, has become a bit of a caricature of herself, especially in the later seasons. But in this show, we get more of her insecurities and the more of her struggling as the head of UNIT, as somebody who has to talk to all the different political powers throughout the world, and also somebody who has a relationship with someone that she works with that she wants to keep under the radar. I liked that a lot. I think Jemma Redgrave is very good in this show. There's a lot of times that she gets to actually emote, do some crying, and do some different things that we don't see in Doctor Who because she's a side character. But in this, she kind of gets to step forward a little bit more. I feel like we see better stuff from Kate Stewart in this show than we have in maybe even a decade in Doctor Who. I mean, she's been there for a while.
It's great to have that realism because she has so much power as a UNIT leader because there's the pressure. There's so much pressure to this 5 episodes. She does not get any rest. She's like, I gotta do this whole thing, I gotta get everything together. But that's great because I feel like in a lot of stories, we don't see characters like Kate that built so much pressure. She wants to do the best, and especially with, I just forgot the name. The main guy. The guy. Who's the guy? Who's the main guy?
Buckley.
Buckley?
Buckley, yeah.
No, the character name.
Yeah, that's his name. The main guy in the show?
Yeah.
Barclay?
Barclay. Why'd you say Buckley? I was like,
I don't
who the heck
know.
is Buckley? Like, are you thinking of like Wizard of Oz? Was his name Buck? Yeah.
Buck?
Bok, yeah, whatever what his name is, but
Bok
Bok.
Woodsman.
Bok Woodsman.
I'm
Hey.
sure there's been a Buckley in Doctor Who before.
Yeah, or something like that. Anyway, yeah, with Barclay and Kate, that was a great dynamic. They're both human beings that really want to fix everything, but there's so much political influence that creates obstacles around them. I think that was a great emotional core of the story. They want to do something, but it comes at a cost. Like Barclay having a relationship with Salt.
For listeners who haven't watched War Between the Land and the Sea, Barclay doesn't have a relationship with Salt. There is a character called Salt.
Oh,
He doesn't have. He's pouring it over himself. He's just like, oh, I love it so much.
oh, I love Salt.
That name is just so
That's
strange.
weird. I'm sure there could have been a better name like Finn. No,
Yes.
that's
Finn, mate, the puns. The other one that we get to meet is Tide. So we got Tide, we got Salt. Finn probably does exist. I really like those two as our main characters, Barclay and Salt. There's just a lot of really great character stuff that I really believe in Barclay as a person. There's a really good bit before, so he is one of the ambassadors who has to go further down into the sea than any human has ever gone to negotiate with Homo Aqua. And he's about to leave his ex-wife and his kid, and he starts saying like, yeah, I've got this, I helped my mum through cancer, I'm going to be okay. And then he just starts crying and says, I'm actually so scared. And I just thought that was so brilliant and so human. If this was only a Doctor Who one-parter or two-parter where we got this story, we wouldn't get that because they'd have to move much faster. But we get to have some of these really brilliant moments with him. Like he comes into the story and he's confused and he doesn't know what to do. And there's so many little talking points that I loved. And Salt as well. The way she speaks, the way that she acts, the way that she's defiant but also tender. It's a really great way to characterize this species. And also the way she walks. Really cool. Because, these creatures don't walk, they swim. So of course she walks really weird and really stunted because of course she would. Small things like that I thought were really good.
Yeah, and the practicality as well.
Yeah.
I mean, Doctor Who, again, the practicality is insane with the practical sets and the prosthetic makeup. Dude, come on. This is the peak of how to do like set dressing and how to make things really believable. And you can really make Salt a really believable character in the story. She wants change and she has so much faith in Barclay. In the very first episode as well, it's like, me? Why me? And I thought that's great because it's like this whole pressure that gets to him is like he's just a normal guy. He's just here by mistake. He does want change, but with everything that happens, it takes time. Whereas with the power of the Homo Aqua, they can do things in seconds. Like the rubbish, it just fell down the sky. Like there's some crazy stuff. That even the Titanic fell in New York. Like, hey, it got there in the end. So,
did it?
Yeah.
Is that a joke or did that actually happen?
No, it didn't. It didn't happen in real life. But
no, but did that happen in the show?
Yeah, it did happen in the show. The Titanic
no way.
in New York. Yeah.
I must have missed that. That's crazy.
You're like, oh, rubbish. Oh,
yes.
You just look away. Yeah.
I was just, Don't worry, guys. I was watching the show properly. I just apparently just missed that.
Did you see the big blue box then?
The big blue, the TARDIS? What's happening?
Yeah, did you see
happening?
that? Did you? Imagine there was like a red circle. Did you see that? Like things at 3 a.m. The big TARDIS. No, there wasn't a TARDIS, everybody.
Oh, you're just trying to get me on that. I liked how the times where Barclay is the best as an ambassador is when he shows his humanity and he is honest about how idiotic humans are and how sorry he is about things. And I think the show says that, our humanity is what will shine through and save us in times of crisis. But it also tells us that our humanity is exactly what will destroy us, destroy the world. And there's a side of the narrative which is politicians, military generals, and CEOs trying to use their influence and money and weapons to find ways to kill Homo Aqua instead of communicating and trying to live peacefully. They're like, no, we want our water, we want our oil, we want our money, we want our security. And that's the double-sided coin of humanity, really. I thought that was all really great. And as you say, the show looked really good. It doesn't feel as flashy as Doctor Who has been in the last couple of years. I liked it. It felt a little bit more down to earth, which I thought was really great. But also, the show is lit really poorly. There's a moment in episode maybe 4 or 5, so towards the end, when we see Salt on a beach in daylight, and I was like, oh my god, she looks great. Like, I could barely see all that makeup and prosthetics because half the time it's in a grey building or we're underwater or it's at night. And I just thought that, the show was lit pretty abysmally. Like when we go to the Homo Aqua world, it's blue people against a blue background. It's like, where am I looking?
But also, can I just say about the sound mixing for this? What what was going on? Like, why was everything a bit
Oh.
quiet? I don't know why.
Oh.
It was a little bit quiet for me because I was like, why is the characters talking so quietly? Is it
No,
me?
I didn't have that issue, but I don't think that is you because if you remember in Doctor Who season 2, we had the same issue. The sound mixing was all strange, and there were numerous episodes we were talking about, particularly Story in the Engine, where the music is so loud and the dialogue is so quiet. So no, I think that you're probably right. You know what?
Because
You're
I
probably
could
on
hear
it.
Barclay most of the time because it was like the music that was
Barclay.
so loud. I was
No.
like, what is he saying?
Was this scored by Murray Gold?
Oh, Murray Gold.
Hold on,
Good.
it's not. Abort, abort. It's not him. It's
Hans
Lorne. Oh my
Zimmer.
God, it's Lorne Balfe.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay. So I
brilliant.
was like, why is it pretty good? Like from the first episode, I was like, this is pretty good.
Yeah,
Get me
no,
locked in
the
here.
music's good. It doesn't feel as because I was gonna say that Murray Gold had beat the allegations of drowning all the stuff out with the music, but actually, no, it's somebody else. That's why. That makes sense.
Lo and Balfe, right?
Yeah,
Wow.
I think that's cool. Shake it up a little bit, add some
Yeah.
new talent to the Hooniverse. Speaking of which, there is definitely another elephant in the room here, and that is that
Address me.
three address me. Russell Tovey as Barclay. He was Alonso in Voyage of the Damned and End of Time.
Yes.
Juju Mbatha-Raw, hope I'm pronouncing that right. She was Salt in this and also Martha's sister in season 3. And
Yes.
then Colin McFarlane, who plays the main military general, he was also in Under the Lake and Before the Flood in Capaldi season 9.
Wow. Oh yeah, that's him. Yeah.
Yes,
Wow.
yeah.
Yes.
And so you do kind of think to yourself, why don't we just cast like this is the UK. There are so many actors. And in fact, it's so difficult to get into this industry that when you're doing something like this in a franchise thing, why Russell T Davies are you just casting your mates again? I was a little bit like, yeah, why? I mean, don't get me wrong, they're all very good. Every time Russell Tovey was crying, I felt for Barclay, but I definitely thought, why? 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 I don't
Why?
know.
Why? Why? I mean, yeah, I think it's a weird landscape we're in for the creative industry because it's like, why don't we see new writers or new actors or new directors, something to build up the talent? I mean, Lon Balfe is not new. We got someone new
Yeah,
for the
that's good.
show to do the composing, but it's just for new talent. That's important to like make space for that. Don't get me wrong, everyone's great in this, but it's just like, as you were saying, Tom, like, why? Why do we want to see the same people again? And it might look a bit confusing as well.
I remember when this cast was announced, and I was like, "Oh my God, wait, Martha's sister. Oh my God, is Martha coming back?" And it's like, no, no,
No,
Martha.
nuh-uh, nuh-uh.
Apparently, she's the one character who will never come back. David Tennant, Catherine Tate, Billy Piper, they're all back, but Freema Agyeman, fuck you, I guess. That does still remain to be seen. But I think at the end of the day, the thing that sticks with me is the big question of, was this show worth making over 2 more episodes of Doctor Who per season and another Christmas special? We could have had a Christmas special in 2025 and we could have had 2 10-episode seasons. Just think about it. Breathe it in. That sounds so amazing. And as much as I liked this show, I liked the characters, I liked the political messaging of it. It felt very classic Doctor Who. It's the same old thing where people come and they're like, hey, we own this Earth, and Earth is like, no, you don't. And they're like, yeah, we do. And then the humans do some shit. All of that is stuff that we've seen before. And it's done in a nice way, in a fresh way, in a way that I enjoyed. But is this, I don't know, what do you think? Would you have rather seen more from Doctor Who?
Well, I don't know. It's conflicting because obviously I want to see more of Ncuti Gatwa's Doctor, but the whole thing happened. At the end of the day, it's more about, do we want to see more Doctor Who? Yeah, sure. I think there's great potential for writers, and if we had stories like this in a Doctor Who series, yeah, maybe, yeah. I don't know. I feel really conflicted. This is the first time I say I don't know because I'm so uncertain because it's like,
Yeah, that's fair enough. It's a difficult question. Let us know in the comments what you think. This is the last Doctor Who Hooniverse thing with BBC and Disney. So it's back in BBC's hands now. Was this all
Yeah.
pointless? I think there's definitely an argument to be made. We will be back later this year. We're going to talk about that Christmas special, potentially the final episode of Russell T Davies' Doctor Who. Who knows? Will Salt be there? Will Barclay be there? Will Buckley be there? Will they introduce iconic character Buckley?
He's like a cousin of Barclay. He's like, hey, I'm cousin Buckley.
Also played by Russell Tovey.
Yeah, they look so similar, though they have like a different. I don't know. One of them could have like a wooden leg or something. Like they could be like a pirate.
I was gonna suggest like a prosthetic nose, but a wooden leg is better.
Like you can tell the
Oh
difference.
God.
Um,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Um,
it feels bittersweet, really. It just
it
feels like
does.
we had a good show at the end of the day,
Hmm.
but was it worth it after what we've been through? That's a loaded question.
What would you give it out of 10?
I say 6. It was pretty. It was good.
Yeah.
It was good.
Nice, yeah. I might give it a 7. I think that puts it pretty similar to what we gave the last couple of seasons of Doctor Who, interestingly enough. But
Yes.
hey ho, thank you everybody for listening. If you're listening on YouTube and you liked it, you can like and subscribe if you want to see more. And if you're listening on Spotify or Apple, you can follow and give us a 5-star review if you think we're worthy. And next week, it's another show from another franchise. It's Wonder Man.
Wonder Man.
Dropping all at once. I've actually seen a lot of marketing for this, so that's going to be interesting. I'm kind of
Yeah.
curious.
They're pushing a lot for it, which is pretty exciting. So give me Wonder Man. Wonder Man.
Yeah, give it to us. Yeah, and you
Give it
can
to
send
us.
us your thoughts on. You can send us your thoughts on Wonder Man. Let us know your thoughts on Jesus Christ. No, that's wrong, Tom.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Send us your thoughts on Jesus Christ. No, and then you can send us an email at outstimefilm@gmail.com. Let us know your thoughts on Wonder Man or Jesus Christ. Tell us about religion, and
The Bible.
we answer it right here on the podcast next week.
Yes, and you can follow us on Instagram at Out of Time Film Pod to see our incredible thumbnails from Zain, on Twitter for more thoughts from Tom and me, and TikTok to see edited clips, which are all also on Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts. And you can find links there all in the description below. Thanks to Elle for the excellent theme and Ronan for vocals as always, and I think that's everything. Take what you're given.
Give nothing back.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.